What if the person you love serves you your last breath? She played the oysters, they said, and laced them with death. But her hands shook like grief, not guilt. Could that lie? When power wants a widow, even truth gets escorted out back. Stay with me until the very end, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your location. Because the truth hides in plain sight. Lena Harrow ran Ember and Ash, an oceanside bistro in Grayport. Her husband, Victor Harrow, chaired a glittering tech foundation with ironclad charm. At a fundraiser dinner, Victor collapsed after oysters and white wine. Paramedics fought, failed. His sister, Claudia Vance, hissed, she cooked it. The first injustice landed, accusation before autopsy, rumor devouring oxygen. Detective Nia Brooks cataloged plates, glasses, whispers. Claudia directed grief like theater. She resented his philanthropy, his control. Staff repeated fragments, bias accruing interest. Lena sat in the office, unblinking, wrists folded, and chef's jacket stained with seed brine. Attorney Jules Mercer arrived, voice low, say nothing. Outside, donors traded condolences like currency, influence calibrated the narrative slope. District Attorney Roland Pike stepped before cameras, suspicious toxins suspected. We will pursue homicide. The press clipped those syllables into headlines. Lena's walk from kitchen to cruiser felt like a hallway without an end. Nia, careful-eyed, noticed something off. Victor's wineglass alone bore fingerprints that weren't Lena's. Still, handcuffs spoke louder than nuance. Claudia watched, jaw victorious. A sealed indictment. Bail denied. Flight risk, Pike argued, assets, passports, motive. Claudia furnished insider emails suggesting marital strain, just enough smoke to seed fire. Jules protested chain of custody irregularities with the oysters. Judge Harlow narrowed her gaze but allowed detention. From the jail window slit, Lena tracked a rectangle of sky like a metronome counting down faith. Toxicology leaked, traces of aconite, monkshood, deadly in heartbeats. News anchors rehearsed the word until it sounded inevitable. Nia flagged the leak as sabotage, Pike called it transparency. In the evidence locker, a sachet of dried leaves appeared from nowhere, found in Lena's station. And then, the chain of custody log blinked a missing hour. Theo Crane, the bartender, called Nia quietly. Victor didn't drink as usual. Assistant Grayson Vale ordered ahead, insisted on an old Sancerre from the private shelf. Theo remembered the label because Grayson tipped heavy, too heavy. He kept touching the bottle like a nervous prayer. Nia checked purchase logs. That wine never showed in inventory this month. Jules motioned for a suppression hearing, grilling the lab tech. Dr. Omar Patel admitted the sachet was logged during the missing hour. The courtroom murmured like surfing under a storm. Judge Harlow frowned, explained the gap. Pike deflected, Claudia stared daggers. Outside, Nia requested security footage from the foundation's valet lot, Grayson hustling a slim package inside his jacket. Nia visited Victor's home office. Books aligned military straight, safe ajar, no pry damage. Inside, an insurance writer updated last week, beneficiary changed from Lena to the Harrow Initiative, effectively controlled by Claudia and Grayson. Also, a peculiar herbalist invoice, billed to the foundation, listing aconitum extract, botanical study. Nia photographed everything, every tidy edge now cut. Nia confronted Grayson in the foundation lobby. His smile was lacquer. Detective, grieving organization, open questions, chaos breeds misinterpretation. He offered schedules, not answers. His palms were too still. Where's the Sancerre? She asked. I don't micromanage wine, he said, eyes winningly bored. Naya clocked the nervous tick, his throat swallowed twice, dry as salt. Claudia doubled down on camera. Lena resented Victor's guardrails around her restaurant's expansion. She produced a lopsided narrative, temper, jealousy, a chef hungry for more. Pike echoed it at arraignment, theatrics sharpened. Lena stood immovable, a lighthouse in fog. Jules whispered, storms end. Lighthouses remain. Naya filed subpoenas faster than gossip moved through donor branches. Dr. Patel revisited the tox screens. Trace aconite in Victor's bloodstream, but no gastric abrasions consistent with raw ingestion. Microdoses, cumulative, likely via tincture in a glass. He'd found matching residue on the wine's cork, not the oysters. The courtroom paused. The very narrative weaponized against Lena, her food, now exonerated her plate and pointed at a bottle. Jules petitioned to test every Foundation bottle handled that night. Naya retrieved valet footage, Grayson meeting a courier behind the loading dock, hands exchange, paper bag, the choreography of secrets. Theo identified the courier as Morgan Hale, a part-time sommelier with debts like anchors. Subpoena served. Morgan cracked. Grayson said it was a sensory demo. I never tasted it. Morgan described the switch, decanting Sancerre into a lookalike with an infused cork, delivering it as prestige. Payment, cash plus a promise to clear his bar's licensing issue through friends. Naya pulled phone records, late-night calls between Grayson and a city clerk. A favored lattice. The cork itself, when tested, sang one note, aconite, unequivocal, deliberate. Claudia's PR machine coughed. Donors asked uneasy questions. Pike's office, sensing a pivot, demanded airtight proof or public whiplash would snap necks. Jules motioned for Lena's release pending trial. Harlow considered, eyes on the evidence shifts. Naya interviewed Victor's CFO, discrepancies in Foundation transfers, authorization codes held by Victor and, absent his signature, temporary control falling to Grayson. Bank logs revealed the midnight wire, $2.3 million to a shell entity, Mariner Beacon LLC, registered last month by Grayson. Motive surfaced, slick and cold. Naya returned to Victor's office. A desk camera, long ignored, had a corrupted card. Forensics recovered frames, Victor arguing with someone off camera about bleeding the initiative. A sleeve appeared, navy pinstripe, Grayson's tell. Jules presented the judge with a unified arc, motive, embezzlement, means, medicated cork, opportunity, controlled access, and the staged sachet. Lena's fingerprints are nowhere on the bottle. Harlow's gavel freed Lena on bond, shackles off, shoulders still iron. Outside, reporters shouted. Lena said one sentence, I loved Victor enough to season his legacy, not his ending. Naya traced the herbalist invoice to a coastal apothecary. The proprietor recognized the buyer, sharp suit, clipped speech, left-handed signature. Grayson signed left. The receipt carried one smeared note, titrate over weeks. Cross-referencing Victor's smartwatch health spikes suggested microdosing began days earlier. But one detail was always there, buried in plain sight. In the Foundation boardroom, Naya laid out cork analysis, wire transfers, courier testimony. Grayson laughed brittle. Conspiracy theater. Claudia hovered, whitened knuckles. Naya slid the final photo, Grayson's sleeve from the recovered frame. Victor told you no, she said. You answered with tincture. Grayson's composure fractured, voice pitching. He would have ruined everything we built. Jules filed a motion to dismiss charges against Lena and indict Grayson. Dr. Patel demonstrated to the grand jury how microdosed aconite evades early suspicion. Theo identified Grayson's handling of the bottle. Morgan signed a cooperation deal. The apothecary provided inventory logs. A city clerk flipped, admitting Grayson's licensing fix. The stack became a wall, load-bearing. At the hearing, Grayson tried one gambit left. Claudia orchestrated finances. She wanted control. Claudia spat, "You leech." Jules revealed the insurance writer funneling power to their foundation, unknowingly handing Grayson temporary control. Harlow's eyes hardened. Naya produced Victor's last voicemail, recovered overnight. "Claudia, keep Lena safe if anything happens." And then, every breath in court held, stopped, broke. The judge dismissed all charges against Lena with prejudice. Grayson Vale was remanded without bail on counts of murder, fraud, and evidence tampering. Claudia faced indictment for obstruction and PR-driven interference, barred from the foundation pending audit. The Harrow Initiative is placed under a neutral trustee. D.A. Pike, chastened, vowed an internal leak investigation. Naya finally exhaled. Lena returned to ember and ash before dawn. She sharpened knives, not for war, but for work. A plaque went up near the pass, "For Victor, taste made honest." Theo poured coffee, Jules left silently, victory heavy. Naya visited the shoreline, letting wind rinse the courtroom echoes. Truth stood bruised, intact. Grayport's gossip found new weather, less poisonous. At sunset, Lena stood on the pier, coat open to salt air, Victor's voicemail pinned to her heart by memory, "Make it beautiful." The ocean breathed in long, absolving strokes. Love isn't proof, actions are. Power can counterfeit grief, but it can't counterfeit evidence. If you believe stories like this deserve to be heard, subscribe to this channel, and never miss the next case where truth prevails.